All right, all right, all right. We're here. Let's do this. I'm going to generate the bracket now. All right, all right, all right. We're here. Let me close that. Okay. Generating the bracket. Goblins. One is live. All right, let's see who my opponent is potentially. We got a pretty good turnout. I was just messaging A-Row guy. They were telling me about how much of a problem Mask is for Slanesh and how I probably should have banned him. And I was like, okay, well, maybe it'd be a big mistake, but I'm going to leave her unbanned for now. And I'm just going to hope that I don't go against your Slanesh and that I don't get tormented with the Mask. And it turns out, first round is me against Rogue. Isn't that just wonderful? Okay, let me do this. So we got a pretty good turnout. Rogue, Minotaki's here, Risotto, Scrambled Egg Special, very nice. Got Maximilian there. I almost forgot which faction I declared, but it is the Warriors of Chaos, which I don't play often, at least in Dom for sure. All right. All right. Let's see if they have a lobby up. If not, I'll host one myself. Inekura. Thought you were Lizardman. Okay, they have a lobby set up. Cool, cool. Oh, silly me! I forgot the tower map pack. Okay, I'm a land battle player, so I'm not used to having it on. Let me turn that on real quick. All right, all right. I'm just gonna boot this up. I'm gonna re-download the mod pack just in case. I don't know how this goes nowadays, but Walk versus Slanesh, I imagine Slanesh has the advantage, but at least Walk has some relatively good mobility on their side as well. Unfortunately, without Bearman, though, which is obviously a good thing that we don't have Bearman, that means you have to rely on crappy Marauders or Chaos Warriors. And Chaos Warriors, they're pretty decent, but Slanesh has a lot of AP. So Chaos Warriors are not going to be the right choice, probably. Though we'll see what Slanesh brings. All right, let's look at the maps that I put here for today. They are the first person. So we are. Let me turn this down. This is very loud. Okay. Whirling Maelstrom. Okay. Honestly, I forgot my own maps. Let's see. Let me help. Let's see. There's the choices are between Whirling Maelstrom, Temple of Assyrian, and Dried Floodplain. There's a lot of people on this site right now. Let's see. Temple of Assyrian is. Let's do Temple. Yeah, it's gonna be the better. It's gonna be the better one for me. All right, let's get that blocker up. Wonderful, wonderful blocker. Where's the chaos? Pick that map. Pick that flag right away. That's the most important part. All right, so against Slanesh, let's see what we're gonna want here. We are going to want. This is a bit difficult. This is a difficult one. This is a difficult one. A man such as myself, who has very little experience nowadays in Dom, might just have some troubles. We'll see. We'll see. Not sure if this is the right choice, but we'll see. We'll check it out. That could be an interesting choice. So in the back pocket, we're gonna need some of these guys here. Oh. Bro guy is messing up a little bit. Okay, there we go. All right. So we're gonna need something to answer for the skirmishing of Slanesh, right? We're also gonna need some relatively faster. Uh, do, 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 do. These guys should be okay. 3 of those might work. Hmm. Hmm. Let's see here. Bring one of these could be okay. We can go minus one of these. Go. Bring this in the back pocket. Go two of those guys. That works. Bring another of those. Nice. Okay. Bring this. Kind of expensive though. I need some of these guys for sure. About 3 of them boys. Maybe some more of these. 2 of these couldn't be bad. I'm gonna need some more. Oh, you know what? I think I know the answer here. Bring a bunch of those. Bring some of these. This is a problem. This is a problem. I have an issue. I most certainly have an issue. Maybe I should just bring 2 of the normal ones. 3 of the normal ones. These RR gotta be very good though. We're gonna need more bodies. Can't exactly go home without one of these, right? Yeah. Yeah, I think that's a mistake against Slanesh. So. Those guys could be really solid. Okay. I think I'm cooking here. I'm cooking. I got something. I'm cooking a little bit. Okay. One of these guys. That works perfectly fine. Yep. I'm cooking a little bit. Maybe bring this guy down here. No. Yeah, that works. Okay. Let's do it. All right, let's see how this old man can fare. I turned 30 just last month. Do I still have it in me to beat a player like Rogue AI? We shall see. Yo, I just woke up. Oh, sorry, Subutai. Let me close the blocker. See over here that's perfectly fine. You know you gotta bring the burning head against the lightly armored faction like the Slaneshian side. Alright, so we got double skirmishing for both. We got some horsemen, we got some horse masters because they're very, very good. We got Mr. Arcan. We're gonna hope that he doesn't get sniped out by the mask because the mask is troubling for sure. It is definitely a troubling one. Normally I wouldn't have brought this hound, but I had 400 something left. I said screw it, might as well. And then of course we had to make room for a chimera because they're just so busted. Like it's insane how busted they actually are. Can you... I don't even know if I can anymore at this point. Ready, good luck, have fun. I'm sure things are not going to go well with this, but we'll see. We'll see how things go. We'll see. I decided to go for the shorter map here, as we have a little bit more leeway in terms of dealing with the mobility of Slanesh. What are those? Double devotees? Okay, interesting, interesting.
On the sheep! Charge! Now! Shot them! Swords of chaos to me! They will succumb! Faster! Blow them! Yes! Bring us to carnage! Get them!
See, hopefully those cheeky chimera shots come in there. Nice, nice. What? I don't need my sword to strike you down! Charge them! Deliver slaughter! Yes, Lord! Throw! Bring us the carnage! Marauder horsemen! Marauder horsemen! Okay, chase those guys down. Chimera is in a bad situation, but what can you do there? Oof, that's a bad... It's a very bad one. Yeah, so one of the armor trolls. Okay. Got some Forsaken back.
Now is our time.
We're gonna probably need the Rotting Riders here.
My master's call. Fall back! Faster! Archaon! Charge them! Help riders of slaughter! Slay them! Bring us souls! Souls for slaughter!
Okay. Probably send these both over here.
Yes! My blade hungers! To the next victory!
At least send these back over here. Chimera is gone, unfortunately. But that is fine. Should do okay. Burn tags a little bit of Forsaken. Even tags a little bit of the Missile Cav, maybe? No, not really. That's fine.
I control Sinch's gifts too! Attack! Bring us to carnage! Mortal fool! Give us ruin!
Okay, we're a little bit low on gas here at the moment.
Mortal fool! Very well! Charge! Now is our time! Pull back! Charge them! Fear our speed! The eternal hunters! Feeding our addiction! Lacerate them! Bring corruption! Bow before the three-eyed king! Yes? Bring us to carnage!
Okay, unsummon those guys. We're gonna need... Damn it. That's fine. Things are not looking too great. Especially with the fiends on my butt. There goes the Phantasmagoria, unfortunately. Yeah. There goes Archaon. And there goes the back of the Warriors of Chaos, presumably. Yeah, I should have had Archaon probably saturated and or trying to deal with the mask on the right hand side.
Sealed to our steeds! Hellstriders! It brings souls! Quench the thirst! The pangs of suffering! Yes, Lord! Ah! Throw those axes! What do you bid? Love them! For
Also some really, really bad burning head choices.
Charge them! Yes! Wait, fight! Hold up!
Yeah, those devotees are really good. Yeah, I should have brought. Maybe I should have kept the camera in the back pocket as well. It's definitely a GG. Good scrap. Good scrap. It was over as soon as Archaon fell, honestly. Got a message. That was a very good scrap, but unfortunately misplayed. That Chimera probably should have been on the right side. Honestly, trying to deal with the mask, it kept taking a lot of devotee fire, and also I let my skirmish cav get caught up. Marauders had a tough time, as I can imagine. The demons PU. I think if I'm going to summon the demons PU, I need the support of the trolls. And I don't know. I wanted to bring the armor trolls, but I felt like the armor piercing of Slanesh would kind of make it redundant, not matter. But also maybe trolls aren't the right choice. Could have brought the blood beasts, I think they're called instead. They have higher mobility and pack a heavier punch. And also don't have this terrible leadership. They do have some nice missile resistance as well, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, the Slangors were really good. The devotees did fantastic there. Pretty much went unchallenged. So the Hellstriders did great too. Very nice. Hey, Kyria. Very good match there. Was Subutai able to add himself to the bracket? Kyria, when are you playing Dom? Dom win. Okay, that is... We still got quite a few matches. Now, let's see. Try to think of what you'd bring against Slanesh as somebody who... Let's see. Without Bearman. I think so. Against Slanesh, you have the mask to contend with. I think Archaon's still a good choice. You could also go Village, but you should have to keep him away from mask because he's not a very good fighter. But you can also desaturate him and stuff, so it doesn't really matter too much. I think Village is an okay choice there. He has a lot of good spells against Slanesh. I was originally thinking Bird as well, because Slanesh tends to blob up at times. Bird seems to be always be good in no matter the scenario. Unfortunately, there's no sub mode in this game, so what can you do? Yeah. Wait, sub mode? What do you mean by sub mode? You love Conquest, don't you, Curio? Just like Seagulls? This is just like Conquest, but not as good as Conquest. But still fun. Let's see, you could go Final Trans and Plague of Rust, but you don't really need Plague of Rust. Unless you really want to... Because what if Fiends have like 40 armor? And the Slangors don't really have much armor, I recall either. My eyes are itching really bad. So it's kind of unnecessary. Yeah, they only have 30 armor, so it's not even worth it. So Bird could still be in a decent choice because he flies and Final Transmutations. I think that's what we need to solidify first here is what caster you want to bring. I wonder if bringing Scylla is worth it. I know that a lot of Corn players and Walk players tend to Hero Hammer with Scylla. Just that pretty much. I mean, you could give them the brass collar simply because it's dumb, so they can get 100 kills eventually. I don't mind the game in general, but it's different, more different from usual Total War battles. Yeah, yeah. I completely agree with you. I started off with dumb and then switched back to land battles. I was mostly just trolling you because the only person in ODM aside from Intensity that used to play Dom with me was Alfredina. Let's see. So if I do go bird, could be just final transmutation. Transmutation of light isn't good because it's 11 wins. You could just Searing Doom as well. That's always not a not a terrible choice, even if the AP is mostly wasted. It's a kind of a good thing. And then just Rock of Inavailability, or you could go Village, relatively cheap caster. Go Vessel of Chaos, Twisted Twin. I mean, Paragon of Change is also good. Could just go Pink Fire. You could go Gleam Magic as well. You could silence. Treason of Zinch is also not a bad choice at all. Now, for what you bring, I still think Forsaken are good there. I don't know how they trade into Slangors though. They do have 85 armor while Slangors have very little AP. If I recall correctly. They have... Okay, no, that's still pretty good. 10 AP, that's still very good. Freaking Slangors, man. Obviously, it's still middling compared to the 20 of the other ones, but like Zangors have 9. But it's still pretty decent, 10. But I don't know how Forsaken trade. I don't know if you get maybe the... Thing is, the Slanesh also has Forsaken. The corn version is obviously the worst. You could go Nurgles. Nurgle and Zinches are really good, in my opinion. Wants like Sorcerer Lord. Yeah, but he's durable generally unless Mask punches him in the face, which is in case he's not durable anymore. But he's also the only other Zinch caster, really. That's what I was thinking. It was like first you have Gleam Magic, which is decent, and then he's durable on foot mostly, unless he gets caught out, obviously. But you don't want him caught out. Archaon, I think, is still one of the better choices because you have Burning Head, and if you don't misplace it like I do sometimes, but he's also very expensive. So, because if you bring Dorgar, if you go just Searing Doom, Burning Head, or if you go Flaming Sword, Spirit Leech. And then say if you go Paragon of Rome to give ITP, if you choose that, but you also have Crown of Domination, so you don't really need it. You could go for Kindle Flame because you're bringing Burning Head or Flaming Sword. That's 2745. You cut, you fight or die, just bring Kindle Flame. You also cut Slayer of Kings. You're missing out on a lot of attack power on there, but that's fine. You can just bring that. That's already 2400. I don't think Valky's worth it here because she doesn't really have any good targets. You're mostly just using her for a spear, Flapnir. Flapnir. Bearmen are banned for Warriors of Chaos because they're a big issue for Warriors of Chaos and Dom. they're a serious issue. It's only allowed for Norska. Turns out having 6 infantry with ITP that you can resummon constantly in Dom is kind of a problem. Oh, new bracket? Yes. Thank you for letting me know. I appreciate it. Inikura, I very much appreciate it. Let me move to the next bracket. Advanced Swiss. Thank you, thank you. Let's see. Announcements, tournaments. Oh, I'm in the wrong channel. I'm in Vermin League. Are you playing in the Sunday faction war, Kirio? I wish I was playing, but also I wanted to host a tournament, so and land battle are obviously occupied. So Dom, it is. Dom is fun too. Like all the berserkers and monsters and demon lords. Yeah, Walk shouldn't have a lot of things. Bearman definitely one of them, especially considering they have rage. If you're gonna give them to Walk, take off rage. That's a Norskin thing, man. Don't gimp Norska like that. To be fair, Norska also a problem in Dom as well. Let's see who I'm up against. If I'm up against anybody. I'm up against Naz 4. Naz 4-0. Naz 4-0. Got a lobby up. Sure, I'll host. Okay. Let's just host really quickly. Bam, bam, bam. Simple as can be. We are on maps. We got what maps we have. Let's see. Alabama Crater, Sunken Mire, and Siege of Saronum. Who is player one? Am I player one? They are player one. Tournament chat. And I rematch. Yeah, I don't really know the mapos. Only just started multiplayer, so I will ban whatever the third map is for fun. They are Chaos Dwarves. So, guide for database for the maps as well, which includes pictures. Let's go. Siege of Salem gone. So in that case, that sucks. I kind of wanted to try. I wanted to try that map. I haven't played it before. Talon Crater and Sunken Mire. Let's see what we're on. Also, let me link this in the tournament description so people can actually find this. So people can actually look at the maps. A lot of people are already on here, but it's me added in. I know some people are struggling to find it or don't know the maps at all, like this person. 150 minutes if you can wrap yours by then. I don't think so. I don't think so, wink. I think that's gonna be it's gonna be a little bit longer than 50 minutes. But you can play Lizardman for me. I'll put all my hopes on you. All my hopes and dreams on you. Let's go back to main. Let's see, I can't edit the thing right now, so I'll have to just do it later. Delvin Crater, Sunken Mire. Let's do Taliban Crater. I'll choose Crater. I had tournaments I was playing people outer region round one. Awesome. Okay, so they're playing Chaos Dwarves. I'm Warriors of Chaos. Let's see what we got. Let's see. Crater. Taliban Crater. I also love Crater of Decay. Crater of Decay is also a fantastic map. Let's throw that blocker up. This amazing freaking blocker up. Which I will link the artist in the description when I have the time. But they're a great artist. Let's see. So against Chaos Dwarfs, we're gonna need something to stop train. Speaking about a particular fellow. Could also go my wife with the spear. He's wonderful, but I'll go with this one. Let's see, might do that. That also works. Bam, 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 bam. That's very expensive. Okay, okay, okay. So we're gonna need some. I don't want to bring one of this for fun of it. It is. We'll put that in the reinforcements actually. a little cheeky there. A little cheeky move. Let's see. We want to go skirmish again. Try a little bit better this time to... Oh, the thing is, Chaos Dwarves have better skirmish than you generally because they have a longer range on theirs. So, what I could do is bring out one of these because they don't have fast mobility, and then okay, we're cooking. We're cooking. Could bring 5 of those bad boys. They're not gonna do great there, but they'll do okay. Also bring one of these because they're pretty good in my opinion. Oh man, I wish the I know I was just talking about how Norska has it needs to have their stop having their stuff robbed by Warriors of Chaos, but like I was thinking, how cool would it be if I could bring an in right now, even though it'd be terrible in this matchup. Let's see. Let's actually bring. You can get a hero on that, right? Yes, you can, I'm pretty sure. No, not on Warriors of Chaos. But on Beastman, I'm pretty sure. That's unfortunate. Why strike car so bad? Why bad? Doesn't... Yes, here we go. Perfect. Just for 100 more and I get this? Hell yeah. That's what I'm talking about. Okay, that's fine. That works. And then for the backfield, I can bring... Let's see, against Chaos Dwarves, we are going to want to bring one of these. Some of these in the back pocket. And then I've learned my lesson to bring some of those guys. And then we need something to deal with the issue of... I'm going to get rid of that. It's too much of a meme. Oh, I've maxed out my marks. Are you kidding me? Stupid marks. Yeah, I'll bring 2 of those. And then... Actually... Yeah, 2 of those sounds good. Okay. And then we're going to need maybe some of these guys just to hold the line. Don't have much in the way of... how much do we have of this? Yeah. That's fine. I'm taking a little while. Maybe I should bring one of these. One of these instead. Yep. That worked for me. Alright, let's do it. Oh, whoa, 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 whoa. I almost left 500 gold just sitting there at the beginning. Whoa. There we go. Took me a little while. Took me a little while, but, you know, I haven't played in a while. We'll figure things out. It is a pretty great blocker, isn't it? Empire monkeys. And their muskets. Makes me want to play Empire now. All right, not the greatest build, but yeah, gotta experiment. I got a exalted hero of Khorne, a terrible melee defense on the Gorby's chariot because the Gorby's chariot is pretty good, has a lot of mass, does great damage. I'm gonna go straight for zip points if possible.
Where's the enemy?
Where is that enemy? I don't need to.
What
They can just go there quickly. Push this way. Obviously, don't want to go into the open field against Churfs that much because they have a serious issue of should I go for point 1 or point 2? Point 2 is fine. Yeah, that works. Go look, have fun. Oh yeah, I also have the hell cannon. Guard mode. There we go. Yeah, there's a skirmishing knife fixture. I imagined there would be. Let's try not to challenge that skirmishing because they outrange us a lot. So we get some fire glaives, great weapons, and a Death Shrieker rocket launcher. Hell cannon already doing pretty good. Gonna get that Chaos Warrior out of there. No! Get him out of there! His melee defense is not good. Okay, we got the Bull Lord at the very least. Gotta pop that heal already. All Striders are gone, that's fine. I'd actually call out some stuff. That's probably a good idea. In the center, probably call some more great weapons.
The gods are of chaos, men of the north, circle, covering ground. That's what the master's bid.
Leave him alone! Leave him alone! He didn't do anything wrong.
Orders. Move fast. Deliver slaughter.
Tidings. The enemy has captured one of your victory points. Take it back.
What do you bid? Charge them! Yes, Lord! Mortal fool! Yes! Chaos commands! Undivided! Unhated! Move! Run! Unravel their minds! Annihilate them! Eat their souls! Obliterate them! They get some of that! Advancing!
Okay, things are looking pretty okay so far. I am gonna need some more dudes, some more men. Some... What is happening here? I told them to jump in on the fight. What happened?
Eye of the gods! Kill them all! Ah! Quick! Cornskull! Retreat! Changing ways! Cornskull!
I'm like 90% sure I told them to freaking jump in on the fight. What the hell?
Darkness! Cold! On tireless birds!
They can finish those guys off. I could probably bring in more doggos.
Onward, Northmen, where chaos commands. Succumb to my gaze. Make cry,
That's gonna hurt, but that's fine.
executing
Sometimes you gotta make...
seize all. Guided by hunger. Kill! Kill!
Run away, run away!
Corruption!
Get out of there. Bird.
Is expected. This world is ugly. Covering ground.
Come on, baby. Come on. Beautiful.
Mars blessing.
Nice.
Your will. Army of the dark gods. Eagle. Now running. Now is our time.
Okay. Things are looking okay. Things are looking pretty good, in fact.
Father denies. Slay them. It pleases Slanesh.
Very nice. Very good cast. Okay. Nice. GG's. CD. I need a drop Klug Scheisse. Is that your name on Total Tavern? If so, I can do that for you. Um, thanks for playing, by the way. Let's see. Klugscheiße, yeah, I see you. Okay. Could drop you. Um, I've had a game where into to be close. By the way, you probably shouldn't overcast Hearing Doom when targeting a single unit. It does more damage but spreads over a wider area, most of which is going to miss. So it's a waste in most cases. Curio, you know, why do you have to be so smart, huh? I was doing it for the increased damage, but here you are with your logic. All I think of is I see unit, I press spell, I overcast it for more damage, I win. How dare you? 1118 on those throwing axes, very nice. 1151 on the Soul of Damnation. Pretty good at shooting the skirmishing there. I'm very glad I brought it. What else? Chaos Warriors, pretty good, pretty good. I love the Doomanites there. I can't believe one of them dropped their orders. I don't know why it dropped. But luckily I noticed in time. Fireglaves did pretty decent. Skirmishing, yeah, the skirmishing. Very good on the Bullseye Tower Renderers, 1110. Very nice. Good game. I mean, you did win, so I guess it works. No, but you're right. You're right. I mean, I know it's a bigger area, right? So, but like, yeah, because it goes from medium strike area to large strike area, and that's typically when it's the blob. Why do you have to be right? Also, don't you love how Big Bird is just as good, just as brokingly good in Dom as it is in land battle, as he's in land battle? Let's see here. Okay, we only have one match left to go. No, two matches left to go. Wonderful. Even the blob has to be pretty big to be. I doubt as much if use out of single player. Really? So you never overcast Searing Doom? I guess to be fair, uh, in the land battle, generally you're not going to have the opportunity for a big, massive blob Searing Doom, unless it's like against obviously like a blob faction. But yeah, no, it makes sense. Definitely makes sense. Hmm. But generally, you always want to overcast final trends, no? Like, obviously, if you only have the wins and you need to punish a blob right away, to just do undercast final transmutation. And contrary to popular belief, just like Human Boy's video, you don't want to do it on purely single entities. You want to do it on multi-entity models. Even the normal radius is bigger than a single unit. Yeah. You're right. You're right. It is a pretty big area. It's like, let's see. While we're waiting. Glacier Lake. What a good map. What a fantastic map. Literally one of the best maps in the game. Anybody who says different is wrong. Bird. Bird. Burb. Burba. Lizardman. Let's bully some lizardmen real quick. Some Saurus warriors. Just to test it out. Yeah, because it's not like Tzeentch's third tier army ability big, but it's still pretty big, I'm pretty sure. And I don't think it's worth the extra, what is it? 4 wins? Unless you're like punishing a blob. So it makes sense. But also in Dom, I can't think a majority of the time. Let's gather the wins, as they shall say. Okay. Okay. Yeah, it's a pretty big one. It covers the entire Saurus unit at the very least. Obviously, when they're in combat, they're like compressed. But yeah, look at that. Okay, I can see what you're talking about. Like the wide area from when they shoot it, from when which the missiles land, is pretty different. It's very spread out, very much like the 13 army ability. Well, this one is much more compressed. Yeah. So you did like 900 more damage with the other one, even on a. So if they're more compressed like this, they're up in a fight. Unless you don't care about the unit, so you're paying 6. Yeah, you're paying 4 more, as I said. And if you'd have to like directly damage your unit if you're gonna overcast it, otherwise you can do just a normal Searing Doom. It'll hit just the very tag end of it. Yeah, and they barely did any damage, so. But I did have the single entity in there, so definitely I think it's worth overcasting. I don't know. Like the thing is, even these lizardmen, the lizardmen, like even though they're widely dispersed out, I mean, and when they're like actually fighting, they're very close knit. The Chaos Dwarves are even more close knit than that. So yeah, definitely it's not worth it overcast. You're right. And the difference in damage though is quite wild. An extra 900 damage. Yeah, it's just over such a wide area. You're right. You're right. And final translation is double the duration for less than double the cost. What do you mean double duration? As in duration it takes to cast, or duration it takes to duration that you like the magic missiles fall down? Is that what it accounts for? Yeah, swords are very spread out. Those Chaos Dwarves units from last game have very tight formations. Yeah, especially the blunderbuss. Especially the gun range units. They always have the player's always gonna have them in a very thin line. We're gonna have them like closely compact, but generally not all the time. Just letting you know I dropped. Gotcha. Thanks for playing. What the hell? 3 drops. 3 drops. That's messed up, man. What's going on here? Okay. Still waiting for one more. Lura and Soban. Duration for final strategy. Oh, okay. I see what you're saying. Oh yeah, I misread. I completely missed the text. Final trans. I have reading comprehension apparently. But yeah. No, you're definitely right. Let's see here. Let's go to set up another lobby again. Exalted Heroes on the Gorpy's Chariot, man. 15 melee defense is insane. The regular one has 32. But obviously, he gets 4 models, but still. he got surrounded by the bull centaurs, and my god, if I had forgot about it for even like more than a couple seconds, that guy would have been dead. But yeah, like there's let's see if Human Boy's, let's see if I can remember Human Boy's video. Human Boy, yes, I don't know if it's a short or not. Let me check again the brackets, make sure I'm not missing. Let's see. I think it was a video. Human Boy, yes, I missed that guy. It's probably a short. How long ago was it? Oh my god, it feels like it was just like a few weeks ago. Bracket is all broked while we're waiting for the website to load. I don't remember where it's at. I guess I could just search it up. He doesn't always title his videos that way, like including with the spell in mind, or like the video concept in the title. Maybe it's a short. I don't think it's a short. I'm like 90% sure it's a video. Are we good now? Yeah, we're good. Let me advance the bracket. So we had 2 drops. We have Renataki, Epidoris. Let me do this real quick before I forget. Come on then. Come on. Total Tavern. Stop struggling. Okay, while that struggles, while we hold for that, nope. Yeah, he doesn't even have it called that. Bruh, Total Tavern. Please. Your general. Man, Curio, do you know which video I'm talking about, right? Do you know when it came out? The Final Transmutation one he did? Where? Total Tavern will get there. There we go. Oh my god, it's still. We're getting there. We're getting there. Any day now, my friend. Yeah. Let me drop the people who needed to be dropped. There was somebody named what? Plug Shysta. If I don't know if they dropped themselves or not. Okay, drop. And then Hepidor's dropped, as well as Renataki. So let me check there. Okay, and then oh my god. Okay, there we go. Renataki, if they okay. Alright, so Hepidor's and Renataki dropped. Now we have 2 empty brackets. We got Realm in need of somebody. Let me type this in there. Round 3 up. Let me see who can be paired up. Okay, Barl Sharkley. Realm are in need. Is that the only ones? Yes. Borrow Sharkly and Realm. Are they relatively close in? Bro, Gotrek didn't even check in. He messaged, he posted in the chat that he was gonna play. Bro. Let's see. Realm is 1. Borrow Sharkly. I can just control F, man. 2. I should be fine now. Borrow Sharkly played them first, and then who do they play in the first round? Klug Scheiste. And then Realm, who did they play? Nobody in the second round. They played in the first round. I don't see who they played in the first round. Turtles Army. Should be fine. I don't see why there would be an issue. Borrow Sharkly would have played either Renataki or Kepidors. Yeah, that's fine. Nope, not Renataki. Realm. And what was the person's name again? Borrow Sharkly. Yeah, so we put them against each other. Okay, I should just do that real quick. Borrow Sharkly Realm. We'll be good to go. And then let me fix the other one. Well, Total Tavern dies. Let me try to fix this. It's taking a little bit of time, Okay, delete Realm from there. Okay, we're gonna wish we would have had 2 battalion this, but you know, happens. Okay, everybody should have a match now. Wonderful. Yep. Alright, I'm up against Lura 0563. They're playing a walk. They're playing High Elves, I'm playing walk. Let me get them the lobby thingy. 2-5. Okay, let's see what maps we got. What maps do we got today? Well, this one. Oops, not that silly. Okay, we have round 3, Sacred Chakra, Rips at World's Edge, and Pit of the Everchosen. Against High Elves, Pit of the Everchosen. Let's see. I can also just go to the imager. A little more images. Pit of the Everchosen is which one? That's I'm not sure. Rifts at World's Edge. That one's okay too. Let's check the other one. Sacred Note of Chakra. It's a Note of Chakra. Secret of Chakra. Ooh, I know what to do. Okay. I will ban. The 5 is how I throw my enemies off. The 1-2-5 instead of the 1-2-3. That's how you get them. You get them psychologically, and then you win the match. Yeah, at least theoretically, that's how it should go. All right, so I banned Rifts at World's Edge. It doesn't really matter to me which map gets banned. I would prefer a certain one, but I'm not going to say. I've never seen Sacred Genetic of Chakra. Used to be... That's so funny. It used to be very popular. Early days of the map pack. Alright, so walk. We're up against High Elves. It is Ever Chosen. It is Ever Chosen. Ever Chosen. Alright. Very interesting map that I have not played before. Basically literally just a big crater almost, like with a little bit of like points on the ends. So we're up against High Elves, huh? So we'll see. Up against High Elves. That's fun. That could be fun. That could be fun. Let's try this buddy out here. I love him. He's a funny little guy. He is a funny little fella. Let's also go this guy. Why not? That should be fun. Would it be fun? Would it be fun? I don't know. I don't know. All I know is that that's going to be okay relatively. These two in the back. I presume we're going to get a bunch of ships company coming our way. A good old classic. Gonna go a few of these guys. Well, not have a chance that that does happen. Check the map again. To see what kind of things we got. Okay. That's such an interesting map. Oh my god. It has like such a weird layout. Alright. Interesting. Such a very interesting layout. Okay. Yes, it refers to Arcana's armpits. Yes, you're on the dot there for sure. Um, Interestingly, hmm, I could do this, do this, do this. I could go the other route and go def, defa. No, I'll go with this one. Okay. It's a very interesting matchup that I do not know much about. Could bring two of these sneaky little fellows here. Oh, right. Stupid marks. Hate marks. Hate them. Detest the marks. I detest the marks. I say I detest them. Hmm. It's a very interesting choice we got here. Interesting little conundrum. Suppose it wouldn't hurt to bring one of those guys. Bring some of them. And I'm a bit confused here as to dun, 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 dun. Okay, I think I got a handle on it. I think it's not the right handle, but it is a handle. Okay, good to go. It's tournament starting soon, so I gotta leave. Good luck, Uriel. Win it out with the lizardman. They're asking for 25 gold left. I only got 23. Let me get rid of the blocker on the pit of the Everchosen. Unfortunately, I did not bring the Everchosen himself, which is, you know, a bit heretical, but it is what it is. Instead, I have a Mr. Village the Changeling with a cold hell brass. We're gonna be sitting here on point 3 mostly. It's probably not the best choice considering the mobility of the High Elves, especially with their flying Griffin Lords, but we'll see how it goes. We'll see how it goes. That's fine, actually. So, unfortunately, this is what we're doing. Okay, so we can come from this angle. We can come from. This is such an interesting map. I love the freaking deployment zones. This is so cool. Should we go for? So, do we spawn on the same? I presume we spawn in the same area. Which in case, very cool. We also have some Chaos Warriors. That heavy armor should be able to do relatively well. I'm going to send some Marauders after point 1 and point 2. We also have from Forsaken. It's a very cool map. We've got Mr. Village here and Mr. Aocold Hellbrass. All right. Should be fun. Such a fun, chaotic map. You don't have anything like this in land battle. This is great. Oh my god. Hello.
They will succumb! Quick! Finding fresh hope! Your will? Throw of axes! Kill us on the earth! Give it carnage! The dark gods command me! Village the castling! Life bringer! Death dealer! Skinks embrace.
We have a victory point. Keep it from the foe.
Acorn Hellbrass! Marauder Horsemen! Ha! Drinking Poo! Faster! On the hunt! Mortal Fool! Chaos Marauders!
Very interesting.
To the next victory!
This way, mule. Charge them, brother.
Retreat! The Dark Gods command me! Come! Come! Recarnage! Name your demand! Eternal Hunters! Gah! To safety! Knight of Siege! Now is our time! Quick!
Village the castling.
How? Myself, who else? Take it, Summoner! Move forth! Windblade Carrier! Running! Charge! Faster!
Gotta save up a little bit.
Chaos comes! Close combat! Faster! Acorn Hellbrass!
Die in arcane fire. Fires of Finch.
Close combat! Retreat!
Ah, certainly.
Charge!
Okay.
Pulse Riders!
Agreed.
Windlord, aid me! I will rise!
Jesus, these freaking Pyramid Company are insane.
Magic is power.
They choose not to die.
Village the castling.
I will! Nargos pestilent glory!
Let's see what I can bring here.
Pulse Riders!
He's doing okay so far.
By the magic of
Will it actually hit? It will. Nice. Didn't do too much. So those Hillstriders got wrecked, unfortunately. How's it going? Pretty okay. Pretty okay. I mean, not great, theoretically, but okay.
Followers of chaos! In ruination! Nay!
The enemy has captured one of your victory points. Take it back.
Let's see here. I think we're a bit screwed.
Woeful tidings.
Chaos Marauders!
Come in once them!
I overcasted and killed village. That's perfectly fine.
Slaves to darkness! Our duty obeyed! Eviscerate them! Doom Knights! Army of the Dark!
Fortunately, things are not looking great here. Have not looked great for a bit of time.
Chaos Marauders! Hell Striders of Slaughter!
Losing those Doom Knights is also going to be pretty rough, especially considering how many models they still have left. Man, the freaking Ilario and the Frostheart are so oppressive.
Riders! Doom Knights!
Probably should have gone bird.
Sealed to our steeds! Undivided! Hell Striders!
Yeah, it's just a little bit too oppressive now. I can't do anything about the Dragonborn, the Fireborn, nor the Omen of Assyrian.
Fire the gods!
It's a GG, I think. It's a bit of a GG. But I would like to see
Our speed!
you catch out these freaking Rahagar's Pride.
Hell Striders!
But there they go.
Steeds! We feed our hunger!
In land battle, not really. Not really. Not something you see on. It's like once an occasion. It'll be like a change lane turn into something like Kugath, and then you have a cold with you. But it's relatively memey. I don't see it often. I also don't see it much in Dom. Presumably he's not that great. I think his ability is cool though. His little sword throw, which blows up right in the middle of a unit. Another drop. Come on, man. All right. Gotcha. Man, that air squad is rather impressive, isn't it, huh? All right, so Inni is dropping. Let's see. Who are we waiting on? We're waiting on Maximilian, J. Barbs, Rengito. Okay, 2 matches. Equal C0 serious play in Dom. I could give you the village. Oh, okay. Sorry, not equal to. Oh, okay, I missed that part. Village, yeah, not really. Generally for like Zinch, I know we're talking about Warriors of Chaos here, but Tzeentch at the very least is always going to bring a bird. Warriors of Chaos, it's either going to be Sartorial, Archaon, or let me try to think. Let me look at Warriors of Chaos roster. Yeah, it's gonna be Bird, Valkia, sometimes Azazel, and by bird I mean Sartorial, the big bird. Yeah, Valkia, Sartorial, Azazel on a very slim occasion, and the Nurgle Caster Lord on a Rot Beast. Those are pretty much the main like four. But majority of the time, it's Archaon and Big Bird. Do you know if the passive Thirst by the Vampire stacks if you have more than one hero in the army? The Thirst I'm pretty sure is... Let me check. You mean the spell passive, right, for the lore? Let me check. First, let's go over values real quick and I'll answer your question. But yes, it does stack. 11, I'm pretty sure it does stack. 1106, and because there's no reason it wouldn't. I'm pretty sure they like if you brought two Vampire Lord casters and they both were constantly casting spells, then you'd get healing passive from both of them. Or do you mean the Hunger? Because the Hunger is a single entity, or rather a single specific buff for undead units. Mostly the same in Dom. And then you see the Chaos Lord Sorcerer a bit just for something cheap with various lords. But yeah, that's what I figured. I'm not like a super I'm not saying people who bring specific lords are tryhards, but rather I like to experiment. Like whenever, like I'm a bit like Turn. Some of in the cases where I like to bring lords, I think are fun. I think Village is fun. I don't know the meta for High Elves versus Walk, but I presume just like in Land Battle, it is Air Domination or Cab Domination. Walk, at the very least, in Land Battle can bring multiple Hellstriders. We can generally bring 4 Hellstriders plus maybe the Rot Knight ROR. Rot Knight ROR and Hellstriders are the like game changers for Warriors of Chaos in that matchup, or double Rot Riders, Rot Knight ROR and then regular Rot Knights. But Hellstriders, being able to bring 4 of them and then plus other mark stuff is great. But yeah, Air Domination seems to be the thing majority of the time. The last time I played Slanesh into High Elves in Land Battle, this was a very heinous combo with the Sky Cutters. And there's pretty much nothing Slanesh can do about it. Everything else seems fine. 2940. Man, the Pure Main Company, oh my god. I brought the wrong Chaos Warriors in that case because the Chaos Warriors were just feeding into the Pure Main Company and I could do nothing about them. They were absolutely eviscerating freaking Village and what's his name? And I couldn't get him out of there. Ain't cold. They were just like embedded in there. I needed some freaking knights. Some Chaos Knights. Everything else seems fine in terms of value. 1944. Yeah, the sisters, my god. Lura was like on top of their freaking micro with trying to guard their sisters because I could not get on top of the sisters no matter what I did. I kept throwing resources and resources and resources at it, and no matter what, I could not get on top of the freaking sisters. I got it like once with the dogs, and that was the only instance. And that, obviously they're not going to win against sisters. I honestly kind of wish I brought the Hell Cannon like I was originally going to bring, because it would have been decent there, but I think even if I did, I presume the Omen of Assyrian would have done something about it very quickly. But yeah, so if we're talking about the Curse of Undeath, obviously that's going to, if you bring 2 of them, they're both gonna proc. It doesn't matter how many casters you have, they're gonna, if both of them are casting spells, it's gonna proc. There's no what's the word, a cooldown on it. But if we're talking about the Hunger is specifically an item, a passive ability on like vampires or specific undead creatures. So they'll just be healing that same, like there's no like proc There's no like double stacking or anything like that because it's a single on each person. It's only gonna heal up Vlad. But Archaon or Big Bird is like 70% of the time. I'm not sure what the meta is for HE right now. Oceans, they're seeing a lot more play. I can see. I remember Turin using, what was it? Having trouble against Oceanids. But the thing is with Oceanids, obviously they stack on one. They're very similar to crabs, like Coast. So they're much more of a defensive and less killy unit. So they're going to stack on one point. And you could just generally shoot them. They have 25% missile resistance. So at the very least, they can they'll survive for a bit, but they rely a lot on their missile resistance and physical resistance at the very least. So I can see them being pretty good for the high elves and Dom, especially with healing, but I don't expect too much of them. Unplayably bad. You basically only taking them after you tried out every other option. Obviously not on this map, but where's the Chaos Meta versus Hell? He's generally Hell Cannon. Yeah, that's the only reason I didn't bring it, was because of this map in particular. I found it, like the deployments are just so very weird that I was like, either it was a mistake to pick that map or to let that map go through, or it was or I had to figure something else out, because the Hell Cannon seems very good against the High Elves. I just trying to think of how you'd protect it, aside from maybe presumably a Chimera. I presume it wins against the Omen of Assyrian, or your flying disc friends here, your Doom Knights of Zinch. But with Alarial support with Tempest, I can't imagine they win that fight out against Omen of Assyrian and Alarial. Oceans could be used for pretty much infantry push strat. They're extremely good. Yeah, that makes sense. They're very like they're heavy mass. Their attack animations like disrupt infantry formations as well. So very much like crabs in that case, like very good. But it's not what I would rather. I guess my point is like, it's not what I see as the problem when going against the High Elves. Obviously, we're talking Dom here, so I don't have as much extensive experience with him, but theoretically, I would not expect him to be as much of a problem when it comes against the High Elves. We're up for a round. The next round, let's advance the Swiss. Let's see if Turtle Tavern can do it. Come on, you can do it. You can do it, you toaster of a website. You can freaking do it. That sucks to hear the Chaos Warriors are unbelievably bad. I can imagine so, especially against High Elves, particularly because they now have a cheap AP option, plus on top of it, like Chaos Warriors are obviously very slow, and they don't have like ITP or anything like Bearmen do. So against Chaos Worshipper, let me let people know next round is up. Another freaking drop. Dude, what is with all the drops? That's crazy. Did Turn get this amount of drops? I sometimes I don't watch his streams a lot of the times, but generally, like, I don't see too. I occasionally hear about a drop, but not that much. Like, we've had like 6 drops today. Let's see. Lura, did they get the Swiss point? The buy point rather. Lura got one from me there. And then, okay, yeah, they got their points. Cool. A message request from... I don't know this person, but presumably they're my opponent. Chaos Worshipper? Yes. Okay, they're rather quick with it. Let me switch back to game capture. There we go. Okay, I am Warriors of Chaos. They are Lizardmen. Let's see. Valley of Lies or Pit of Treasure. We have Vineyards and Pit of Treasures. Let's see, Vineyards. Actually, I can just turn this back on, I guess. Let's see, we have Vineyards and Pit of Treasures. Okay, against the Lizardmen, they have mass skinks, really fast infantry in terms of skinks, slow-ish cav, aside from cold ones. Can I challenge them on that? And then we have Vineyards, and then what did I just say was? The Banded Valley, so Pit of Treasures. It's a rather close map. Let's go Pit of Treasures. That's a pretty cool map. Kaiju battle. Let's see. Let's go Pit of Treasures then. That was quite the strong limit play if I remember correctly. Oh, I have a challenger, huh? Trying to take my Lizardman spot, are they? How dare they? Unfortunately, I'm not in the seat to remove them, but next time I'll play Lizardman and they'll see who the true lizard enjoyer is. All right. Let's see, lizards and domination. I have a general idea of what they can bring. Could bring this little fella here. Yeah, I'll bring them, and then let's experiment here. Let's see what we can do. I wish I could bring a Keeper of Secrets. Damn it. That'd be great. Mm. I could go with the cheeky little this. Little cheeky one of those. It's pretty cheeky. Um, hmm. Think I know what to do. Think I have a general idea. Can I bring those guys? Of course, they have a freaking... no! Hmm. Could bring those guys instead. And bring another one of these. Okay, yeah, that works. And then I'll bring one of these. And then, nope, wrong position. Can I bring one of these? Can I afford one? No. I need more... Ugh. This is a problem. Okay. That covers that. That covers that. Okay. That's good to me. Let's rock and roll. So we have conundrum. My opponent drop. Please give him the. Please play or cancel the match. Give me a free pass since no sense in giving him a loss. Okay, okay. Ponty. Which one is Pontimus? Uh. All right, I dropped them. So we have Lura. Okay, and then let me fix the bracket real quick for them. Just 1 second. Dude, why would you ready up if I didn't say I was ready to go? Okay, it's fine, whatever. I didn't ready up.
Marauders! Get them!
That's so bad manner. I don't know why you would ready up if your opponent hadn't said they're ready yet. But whatever. I'm not gonna make a big fuss about it.
God shows the way. With haste.
That's very annoying.
Riders! On the hunt!
Move out.
Hell scourges! Driven by pain!
Witness my strength.
Get them! Run!
Going.
Take it, Summoner! Now is our time! Charge them! For Lord Slaanesh, serving the pact! Kill! Kill! to mortals! Marauder horsemen! Rah! The dark gods command me! We flee! Ah! Bring us to Garland! They will succumb! So be it! Now is our time!
Valkia the Bloody!
Ah! Mortal fool!
I don't even know if my freaking... Okay, we're good. Wasn't sure if my screen was sharing, considering.
Undivided! Drinking pain!
God, that threw me off so much. That's so obnoxious.
Chaos Marauders!
It's fine.
Kill the Southerners! Master Blaze Hunger! Chaos
You have the foe's victim.
Seeking Slanesh's embrace! Sealed to our steeds!
The Gore Queen! Valkia the Bloody! Give me glory!
Hellstriders of Slaanesh!
Cornet's blessings!
I didn't do as much as I hoped, but that's fine.
Certain death!
Marauder horsemen!
Devil's conqueror. The blade in my wake.
To the slaughter!
Marauder horsemen!
Brutal magic.
Retreat!
Vile sneezes bring joyous diseases. Chaos sorcerer of Murder.
Marauder horsemen!
Retreat!
Hellstriders of Slaanesh! Marauder horsemen!
Marching!
Valkia the Bloody! Execute!
Valkia the Bloody. And
Submit!
you're certainly trying, Valkia the Bloody. You're certainly trying.
Undivided! Seas of blood! Tear throats!
Valkia the Bloody! No!
Forward for Murder.
That was a bit of an awkward one.
Move fast! Ready!
Bringer of corruption.
Valkia the Bloody!
Charge! Bring us to carnage! Faster! Name your demand! For the Chaos Gods! I am the god! Your will?
Slaupnir thirsts!
God, Valkia, can you get up and do anything? Like, why are you stuck in some Skaven infantry models? That's so insane.
Hell Scourge! Hunt them down!
Revel in pestilence.
Very well! Roar! Lord of Horsemen! Faster!
All will be despoiled. Chaos sorcerer of Warhammer. Plague, rot, death. Tears marauders, close to the shade.
Valkyria the Bloody! Rage guides me!
Siege's many glories.
Sealed to our steeds!
All right, let's just toss into the towel on that one.
Have been bested. There is only defeat.
Even if you're, even if somebody's not adamant, you shouldn't ready up unless somebody says they're ready up. Let's see, points I'm missing a swift point to get through into the pass. There should be a force, I think. Gotcha. I'll fix the points. Okay, so let me fix Stelios's points. Okay. Let's see. Stelios, son of heaven. There they are. All right. Unfortunate that their opponent didn't join. Need to play again in the future? Yeah, for sure. Luckily for you, there's a lot of tournaments hosted, and I'll try to host more as well. Been a lot of fun getting back into it. I think Dom can be pretty fun, turns out. Let's see. So their opponent didn't show up. What's their name? Daceberg. Okay. Oh, no, I don't need to do that. I could just drop them from here. I don't know what I'm doing. Daceberg Realm. I don't know if that dropped him or not. Okay, I think it did. Let's see. Yes. Blur drop as well, it seems. Yeah, because they're not really didn't answer. Yeah, so I'll drop Laura. I'll give them a minute or two. Daceberg and Pontips could also play. Let me see Daceberg's score. It's a bit late into the round, unfortunately. Let's see where we're at in the rounds. I announced the round 28. Yeah, it's pretty late. Unfortunately, they'll just have to get their buys. So in that case, let me. They seem to have dropped, so I'll just drop Laura. Let's see, Laura. I just had them on the screen. There we go. Okay, Martinez, Big B's are going. Risotto and Turtle Me are going still. Daceberg and Tom Tiffs. There's also another Pontiff's Claw, which matchup I gotta get rid of. I can just get rid of the original one because that's, I mean, this is one I added them to. I got another message from the opponent dropped mid game and it doesn't clear who would have won that game. I took it as a win since he dropped, but he wants to talk with the host. So you do. Send me the replay. Check it out. Let me check here. Fortunate amount of drops. Let's see who's winning so far though. All right, so far, in terms of Swiss points, we have J Barbs up top with Son of Heaven as well. Big B's pretty close by with 3 Swiss points, 11 OPV points, pretty high above there. Scrambled Egg Special as well. We have Martinius, Death by Ricochet, and Rangito. All these fellas here. It's 3, but Scrambled Egg Special, Martinius, and Death by Ricochet are the ones with the most opponent points. Along with the Big B's as well. Big B's and Martinez are still going at it, so we'll see how that turns out. Risotto as well. Let me see if they sent me the replay yet. They have not. Who was their opponent? One was Yokjan, the cart awful. Le Court Ophel. Let's see. They haven't messaged me or anything, I don't think. Okay, there's the replay there. Yo. Yo. We're gonna pretend nothing there popped up. Nothing. So let me look at the values though real quick before I look at that replay. 1545 there on the AS on the Fallen. Omi got shreked by that 1 or 2 volleys of the Razordons. And then Mazda threw some hits out. Unfortunately, never able to get Summoners of Rage. Too expensive to bring out, unfortunately. Everything else, pretty good values. Yeah, okay. Let me go to the replay. All right. Just gonna value this real quick. See who might have won. They said it wasn't very clear, however, so I'm not sure how to. They're not sure how to proceed. So we can go over that. Sometimes with dominations, it's not as clear as it is in land battles, but depending on what faction it is in land battles, things could turn around. Like with a good heal.
We have a victory point. Keep it from the foe.
Okay, High Elves are going to capture point 1. We got point 3 captured by the Ogre Kingdoms, point 2 as well. They're setting up on point 2. They're backing off, going to release it to High Elves while they wait for more units to come in. We have some Mountain Fang Cav being brought out. Things are looking okay. We got the front lines matching up. Some Blood Vultures trying to find a willing prey. Potentially be landing on the bolt throwers, which is a good idea because they're lighting up the lead belchers. Got some healing going down there on Ship's Company and Spearmen, which is not really worth it, but I understand. Want to get it out as soon as possible. Got the Fireborn going after the Mornfang Cav, tearing the Mornfang apart. Points wise, looking to be in the High Elves' favor at the moment. We got more Mornfang Cav being summoned out. The Noble's going a little bit cheeky, going after the Slaughter Master. We still have right now we have both capture points for the High Elves. High Elves are going to get a charge in there with the ROR Fireborn. They take a Fiat of Buna as well, however, and potentially are going to get surrounded by the Saber Tusk pack. We'll see. They're taking a lot of freaking damage here. Fiat of Buna is going to pretty much finish them off with the Saber Tusk pack and the Mornfang Cav, so not looking too great for the High Elves there. But we do have some more Silver Helms, more Dragon Princes, very nice coming out there. Rahaga's probably going to get an Earth Blood. And top it all off, very nice. The Fireborn are escorted off the map. Lead Butchers are back up and shooting, and then we have the Powder Guts Man-Eaters as well. 473 lead for the High Elves. Things are looking pretty close so far. I can definitely see why it'd be hard to determine. Lead Butchers, the Bolt Thrower, unfortunately has been shut down, so unless they get another one out, the Powder Guts and the Lead Butchers are going to cause a lot of damage, a lot of problems for the High Elves. Let's see, Tusk pack in a pretty rough position. High Elves are pretty dominating right now in terms of infantry. The Spearmen are holding back some Ogre Bulls and Pigback Rider RRs. Dragon Prince is doing pretty good. We have another Fate of Bino, however, if we can counteract that with a Earthblood or Star of Avalorn, Steve Avalorn, that could be pretty good. But I think she's probably a little bit too far, or she doesn't have the wins, unfortunately, because that would have been a nice counter to the Buna. But unfortunately not. The two nobles are going after the Slaughtermaster with Colossal Strike, which is very good, a very potential good catch there. Where Hoggers probably going to be able to make it through and potentially get on the Powder Guts. However, they will lose that fight, but at the very least, they will disrupt them and stop them from shooting. Blood Vultures continuously firing in. We have some Blood Vultures being summoned in. 6 minutes in. It looks like the High Elves still have the points advantage. The Ogre Kingdoms are still pushed back on point 3. Point 1 and 2 are still in the High Elves' grasps. Ogre Kingdoms might be able to take it back. The Blood Vultures are getting killed by Phoenix Guard. Phoenix Guard may be able to make it over to point 2, but there's also Powder Guts there, so you might not want that. Dragon Princes do get on top of the Powder Guts, but they're fairly beat up. Point 1 and 2 are still in the hands of the High Elves, so the High Elves are fairly beat up. Both their nobles are fairly beat, but Larios has more healing to give them. Some nobles pushing into the backline, going after the Lead Belchers. We do have some Yetis coming in. Spirit Leech going down on that noble, which is very good. This is a tough to call. We have Sapphire Avalorn and Silverin Guard coming in. I think so far 800 to 482. Ogre Kingdoms are still on the back foot a little bit, but they are gaining back. They are still gaining back some space. The Lead Belchers and Powder Guts are going to put in a lot of freaking work here. Those Phoenix Guards are just an open shooting field, open shooting gallery for those Lead Belchers and Powder Guts. Not looking great for those Phoenix Guard. They're dying rather quickly. So there's Staff of Avalorn, potentially Earthblood going in there, healing up the Noble and the Phoenix Guard. However, the Eddies are potentially going to come finish them off. The ROR Appleback Greybacks, yeah. The Ogre Bulls can be able to finish off the ship's company, both the Spearman and the ship company, honestly, in my opinion, the dual weapons. The Ogre Kingdoms are making their way back. It is 900 to 600 so far. Hard to call. That was a relatively even match. The Ogre Kings were getting their footing back. The High Elves did have a hold, but we're struggling, running out of resources. That is hard to say. That is definitely hard to say. Man, that is such an awkward position for them to drop at. One would potentially just let the High Elves take it. That's so unfortunate because the Ogre Kingdoms definitely had potential to take the game back there. Because the High Elves, they just lost their Phoenix card. One of their nobles is gone. Ilariel was surrounded by herself. Which, to be fair, no, she can get away from this potentially. These a lot of stuff is routing. Lesser Sister Avalorn here. I don't know. This could be the Ogre Kingdom's game. Considering the High Elves are running out of gas. Both their Dragon Princes were dispatched. Do we still have a noble up? Not really. It's a tough call. Let me check the brackets. See if I'm not taking up too much time. Okay, we are on the last round. Let me see if I can get another opinion here. I would give it to Isles, but let me see. I want to see what Pope has to say. Maybe they can give me a second opinion on this because I do think if it was up to me, I'd probably give it to I'd probably give it to the Ogre Kingdom simply because Slaughter Master isn't dead. The two nobles are out of commission. Both Dragon Princes are out of commission. They were on the High Elves were starting to go back on their back foot. Obviously, there was a lot of room that the Ogre Kingdoms had to catch up on to get those points back. I could see reason for both. But the Powder Guts were relatively healthy, putting a lot of damage in. Same with the Lead Belchers, over 3,000 value already. See if they will respond. Tough to say. Are they still in the tournament? Let me check. Who is up in the tops? J Bars, Martinez, Big B's, Death by Ricochet, Scrambled Egg Special. Yeah, let me see if Pope Patty will respond. If not, I'll get somebody else. All right, I'll send it to them. Okay, Rogue is helping me out as well to determine because, as I said, up to me, I think Ogre Kingdoms would have had that if whenever we play it one more time. The issue is that like at times it's hard to call because when somebody's that high up in terms of points already, they automatically one might automatically think that they're going to win, but once you start to run out of resources, once your infantry starts to dwindle on the points, and you're being pushed back a little bit, there's potential that the Orc Kingdoms could come back there and win it. They were doing pretty good. They were in a pretty good position to take it back. But Cart Opal is, I mean, Rogue AI is also checking it out for me to give some feedback as well. But I definitely think that's where my opinion's going. I'll check it. This is the last time I'll check it, and then we'll move on to the top 4. But yeah, Hiles looked pretty good early on in the game. Yeah, but like the really saw the fate of Bunas from the Ogre Kingdoms. I think the Dragon Princes. I think the Hiles kind of were crippled. Yeah, the Lead Butchers seem look pretty good. The Bolter eventually gets collapsed upon by some Blood Vultures or Saber Tusk pack. I can't remember. It was Blood Vultures, and they absolutely tear them apart, which means that they have no counters to the Lead Belchers anymore unless they have another one in the back pocket, which I never got summoned. Dragon Princes eventually get Fate of Bunad, and then we have another Dragon Prince come out. They're doing pretty good, dismembered, and all that. And then the Slaughtermaster almost gets sniped out, but they aren't able to finish the job, which means the Slaughtermaster is able to come back and Buna or Spirit Leech the nobles down. So he does come back. He does get some wins from that engagement. And that means he's a lot more spells to put out in the rest of the game. Two Bunas, he could probably get out another one if he didn't want to Spirit Leech the rest of the game. And he does Spirit Leech, continue. The noble is down. The Arwar Yetis are doing fantastic. The Phoenix Guard are being absolutely eviscerated. We only have Vavalorn and a Spearman. This is around the time whenever we start to see the drop, and just in terms of resources, we have 587 for the Ogre Kingdoms, 1863, which means the High Elves could bring out more stuff. They do just spend that resource on what? The Fireborn are back again. Okay. That's something to consider for sure. I think with the Fireborn summon, that does change things because I didn't see that in the original look at it. Let me see if it determines if before I even put any more research into this. Let me see if it determines anything about the top fours. Okay. Let's see. Who are the players we have? Because I just realized that I wasn't thinking about that. That needs to be considered. Does this matter for the top four? The Kartoffel and Hyukchan. Were they opponents for any of the top four contenders? Let's see. Big B's, Death by Ricochet, Scrambled Egg Special. Doesn't matter. Big B's, Big B's. Um, yeah, I don't think it matters unless Scrambled Egg Special went against one of these. But even then, that's 13 lead to 10 in terms of OPP points. Yeah, I think they're right. Uh, um, let's see the top four. Big B's, J Barbs, Martinius. Oops. Got Martinius. There's two Martiniuses. This is the right one. Son of. I think that's the right person. Did I get the right? Disable streamer mode. Yeah, that is them. Okay. Your match. All right. Thanks for holding on, folks. Appreciate it. We'll get on to the semis and finals. All right. I guess I should show this. Let's see. OBS display capture. So we do have J Bars, Martinius, Son of Heaven, and Big B's in the top four. Let's check this here. Let's go over the Swiss points real quick about who got determined. J Barbs had 10, had 4 points, with 10 OPU points, so it doesn't matter. But yeah, we had these three, and then Big B's with a 13 opponent points up against Death by Ricochet with 10. So these will be our top 4 players. Let me make sure that Death by Ricochet has all of their points. I think one of your opponents may have dropped. No, okay. They're good. And then Scrambled Egg Special. I don't think could have had another 3 opponent points if possible. No. All the players are still there. Okay. All right. Wonderful. Let's see if any of these people are alive at the moment. Because nobody seems to have started their games yet. I'll try to hop in and spectate one, if possible. Need to be on the back foot. Just spent resources. Fireborn. Yeah, so Rogai seems to mostly agree with me on the Ogre Kingdom was winning there in that last one, so sees turning how many bodies build for okay. Big Beast has not responded, so I don't know if he's off. If they're offline now, but let me see. I could try hosting the one of those semifinals myself, unless Big Beast is just gone. Oops, as a spectator. Meant to do as a spectator. Okay, message son of heaven instead then. Alright, Stelios is sending me the replay. As for the other player, Big Beast doesn't seem to be responding. J-Barbs, let me check with J-Barbs. See if they've responded to them. Actually, who is against? Yeah, it is J-Barbs. In the meanwhile, let me check the... Let me fix this person's win-loss. Also, map setup. And then let me fix the... the win-loss here for Kyokchan. Give it to... Give it to Lakartofo because I'm going to be the Outer Kingdoms game there mostly. Let's do there. Bam. So neither J-Barbs or Big Bs are responding. Not a good sign for the semifinals. Let me check who else would have been in the lead there then. Unless they already started the match, which would have been pretty fast. I don't know. I'll give them 10 minutes, I guess. All right, let me check a replay. I'm going to check some things here with this replay that I had. Definitely a bit worried that neither of these players have said a single thing from J-Barbs and Big B's.
Look at these pretenders! All warriors may claim noble ideals, but they glory of taking life.
This is such an unfortunate situation here. 3 freaking Hellstriders just tied up by 1, and then Cold One Rider. And he was just getting his butt beaten over here. I think it's by the Razor Dons. Razor Dons is doing an immense amount of work there. Unfortunate situation. Really good axe volley there. The Nurgle ones would have been a little bit better. They get netted, and then they get... Well, unfortunately there, not a great one. Ruination of Cities, that's what it was called. Valky's doing pretty good there, just chopping up at the cohort of Waddle. Really bad spear slap near there on the Cold One Riders. Didn't really do much there. The Chaos Warriors and Halberds are just horrendously bad. Like, it's actually kind of crazy. And Dom. Let me check to see if it responded yet. Still nothing from either player. Are they in the RTK server? Is a good question. They are not in the RTK server, unless they're in a private one. Let me see here. All right. Good on messages there. Yeah, Valkyrie's just freaking stuck in the skinks the entire time. It's kind of insane. Freaking infantry models, man. And she's taking damage in the meanwhile while I'm not doing anything with her. Eventually the Cold One Spear Riders get ended off. At least I would like to think so, but apparently not. Yeah, they finally get finished off. Lord Mazda's just freaking racking up value here. Another Revivification Crystal charge on them. Marauder Horseman throwing axe is getting some good value there. Probably should have kept throwing them at Lord Mazda money. I don't think it really matters. Roberts didn't get their charge, unfortunately. Yeah, just how much damage they're taking from this engagement. It's just red crested skinks and like a really beat up court of Waddle. That's insane, man. They're barely doing anything as well in return. And another Ruination of City is going to go down here, which is pretty brutal. Yeah, just barely tags both of them. Ouch. And Valkyrie's getting their freaking butt beat. And that dazed effect reducing down the Hellstriders. And a 24 freaking melee defense from dazed. That's crazy. And then I had no good targets for the fleshy abundance aside from Valkyria because the ROR Mutilith AS on the following got freaking rocked so early on. Sure, I could have kept it back and waited for the caster to come to heal him up, but those chargers did okay though. At least the base variant. Let's see, what are we at here? Still nothing from J-Barbs. Strange. Or Big B's. I could try to think of... Let's see, against Lizardman as a walk. I really do still think Valky is a good choice there, but also you can go Big Bird if you'd like. Azazel could be okay as well. Let's see, if you go Azazel. If you go Lash... You can go Phantasmagoria or Pavane. Overcasted Pavane is really nice, I've learned. Bring it up to 38 seconds of Rampage. It's, sort of. It's 28 seconds. It's 10 seconds for the first phase. But Phantasmagoria seems to be the move nowadays. 15 WOM as opposed to the Overcast of Pavane, which is 23. It also does damage and reduces vigor too, so. So hard to say. I think Bliss Rapture's okay. I think the Forsaken are still a good choice. You can go more Marauders still. Probably go 3 Marauders. Still think you need this speed. Let me go double Hellstrider. Put some anti-large ones in the back. I guess it doesn't hurt to have Horse Masters instead, so you can have quad Hellstriders or three Hellstriders. All right, what's his name counts as a mark, doesn't he? Oh no, Hellstriders is maxed out at 3 for some reason. Silly. I still think Yes on the Fallen is pretty good. But you need something to heal him up. So maybe could you go generic Sorcerer Lord? Hmm. If you go Valkia and you go just Beer, you could bring the Nurgle-caster. Just Children of Nurgle. On a Chaos Steed. Could bring another Forsaken there, but generally I think I'm gonna want some mobility to get there as soon as possible. So a single Horse-master could be okay. Blood Beasts are pretty good, but you can only have 5 marks, so Armored Chaos Trolls could be okay. Chaos Warriors just seriously suck. To go Aspiring Champions as well. You need something to combat the... need some dogs, obviously. Chase down skinks. Chimera could be good. Might be too risky. We're gonna need bit more infantry, holding power. More marauders. Could also go an Aspiring Champion. Not entirely sure how they will do there. Also, Chaos Warriors are great weapons. Could also give these guys... No, you can't even give them the mark. More Marauders. Victorian Axe for the... Or any big monsters, big SEs. It's tough, 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 tough. Could go one less Forsaken just to get another Throwing Axe potentially. And another Troll, something like that. More Forsaken, you think? Yeah. Could go something like that as well. I wish I had the marks to give them a Nurgle or Slaanesh. Stelios, give me the replay. You about to start finals too? I can invite you. Okay, we do have the finals. We'll go over the semi-final replay after. Let me put the blocker up before I join. Finally. It seems Forsaken are the way to go there every single time. So it seems. Well, the thing is, as well, is that Dom seems to worry more about mobility. Oh, sorry. I was thinking. My brain was thinking. And I was like, why did I only add one map for semis and finals? Might as well have kept more maps choices in the semis and finals. Ugh, I'll worry about that next time. I also just really wanted to see Putrefying Carcass. Yeah, mobility and DPS, like, as fast as possible, are obviously seems to be the mainstay in Dom. That's the reason why factions like Norska, Beastmen are so dominant, right? Because of mobility, because how fast they are, because how good, how cheap and how good the DPS is on bare minutes great weapons, or like just, and how like good ITP is in Dom. Part of me wanted to play Beastman today in this tournament. To actually like stand a chance to the more mobile factions. Yeah, they have, yeah. That's when I used to play, was when it was more infantry focused. Which is funny enough, because in the start, it was... I'm trying to think. The very beginning of Dom, around the time when I was playing. It was still relatively infantry focused, honestly. SEs were strong, but not strong enough to entirely dominate a game. Not until like DLC started to come out. Zinch was as well. I'm trying to think. It's been so long since Warhammer 3 came out. I remember in early days, all Nurgle had to rely upon, funnily enough, in Nurgle was purely just using Ugath's Plaguefather. Using him as a massive freaking centerpiece. And having to rely on like Chaos Warriors with great weapons and stuff like that. Or Plague Bearers, rather. Excuse me. Certainly, even right factions like VP, VC, and CD are very good. Vampire Pirates, even though they're relatively slow, is it because of the just a massive amount of range they can pull, or now tell me why VC are so dominant. I haven't seen much VC gameplay in Dom as of late, because generally you see VC banned, or at least the top X band, and VC are included in that. Now, why is that? Here we are in the finals. I know we still have a semi-final replay to cast, but in the finals we do have Big B, I believe, up against Stelios. Stelios on Norska. No, excuse me. Big B's on Norska. Stelios on Korn. See how things go. They're a very good counter mobility faction. Pre-patch, they were one of the strongest counter to Slaanesh. That makes sense. Yeah, that makes sense that they would be a counter to Slaanesh. I mean, even in land battles, Slaanesh versus VP is not a good matchup for Slaanesh, in my opinion. There's just way too many bodies. Slangors help out quite a bit, but VP obviously have answers to Slangors. And I guess it does make sense. Like mobility. I mean, I guess it depends on the map, huh? Because if a highly mobile faction, like say Beastmen, Slanesh, for example, if they're up against a slower faction like Nurgle, Counts, or Coast, I presume it's map dependent, or do they still have the advantage there just from numbers? I mean, Beastmen have the numbers that Slanesh doesn't, at the very least. They also aren't predominantly AP a faction. Let me go over the armies real quick. As for Norska, we do have a great shaman sorcerer, which is very dominant in land battle as well. With just final transmutation for him, he's going to be on a horse. We have Marauder Berserkers. We have some Bearmen with great weapons, and then some more Berserkers on both flanks. Spearmen in the back with some great weapons. Whole bunch of great weapons. We also have double Chimera. No surprise there. And then we have Skull Taker on his bike, which is very dominant. Makes sense. He's probably one of the best lords for the Khorne roster. We got Cloak of Skulls giving him the ITP and then armor if he has more than 40 kills, plus missile resistance, which is very strong. That 20% missile resistance is so freaking good. And then an ITF on top of that. Insane. Revel and Slaughter. And then of course he has his passive healing from Gore Feast on that motorbike. It's just that good for a reason. We have Chaos Knights of Lances. We got some Marauders of Khorne. And then we have some Chaos Warriors of Khorne with dual weapons, which is pretty badass. And then we got some Hounds of the Blood Hunt, Flesh Hound ROR, Vanguarded on point 1, taking it for them. And then we have some Blood Beasts too, which are going to be very, very good in this matchup. Marauders of Khorne, and then some more Chaos Warriors with dual weapons in the back. Alrighty, right off the bat, we got some Skin Wolves being summoned in for Norska, as they can be a very good direct counter against like Blood Beast, for example, or the Hounds of the Blood Hunt. Obviously 2v1 no, but 1-on-1 yes. Chaos Knights of Lances potentially get a nice little charge here in the Berserkers. Skin Wolves will potentially intercept, and Khorne is going to think better of it, as especially consider the Chimera is in the air. Skin Wolves potentially going to get a rear charge there, but luckily the Marauders are going to screen them out a bit, as that would have been a messy fight. Chaos Warriors of dual weapons should do pretty good into Bearmen, but Bearmen are also fantastic, as you can see, with the great weapons, doing some pretty good damage. But the bike Skull Taker is going to motorbike his way through. Final transmutation going to go down. Is it overcasted? It is not just a vanilla cast, a generic cast on the Blood Beasts and the Marauders as well. Pretty good. The Chaos Knights are going to back out of this fight, as they're a little bit overwhelmed there by the Chimera and the Skin Wolves. Days Marauders did get overrun by the Marauder Bearmen. Makes sense. Point 2 is taken by Khorne. Point 3 as well so far. Points. There is a bit of a lead for Khorne. Chaos Knights are going to get a somewhat side charge into the Marauder Bearmen, doing some pretty good damage, though they're probably going to back out of this as the Skin Wolves start to make their way. Same with Marauder Bearmen as well. Chimera is helping out against the Marauders and is going to terror route them relatively quickly. Mr. Skull Taker on his dreaded bike is doing some pretty good work against the Marauder Bearmen as well. We have another Chimera here dueling it out with the Minotaurs of Khorne, which are brought out there, and they should do pretty good into him, even with its ITF. Skin Wolves summoned out, and then we have some more Flesh Hounds presumably summoned out as well. Forsaken get brought in and should do incredibly well into the Berserkers with their armor mitigating a lot of the damage from the Berserkers. Flesh Hounds coming to potentially assist against the Skin Wolves here, as the Chaos Knights are getting dragged down. Skin Wolves are now taking a ton of damage from that initial charge. Double Chimera is still up in the air, looking for the prime opportunity for a breath attack, and there's a fantastic breath attack. God, such an insane breath attack, absolutely destroying those Chaos Warriors of Khorne. That is so ridiculous, man. Oh my god, Blood Beasts are in there doing their best, punching the hell out of some Marauder Bearmen and some Spearmen. We have a final transmutation potentially coming in there on the Blood Beasts and the Minos, as well as going to be overcast. Just a single cast, regular cast getting them, but the Blood Beasts are going to pull out there to mitigate some of that damage. Chimera just dominating the battlefield at the moment. These Chaos Warriors running away, same with the Marauders as well. These Marauders soon will tear a route, presumably, as well. Skin Wolves making their way into the back line. Norse guys taking over point 1, potentially going to be taking over point 2 here as well. Khorne is going to be on the back foot, holding down on point 3, trying to take back point 1. The Minos with great weapons are doing some pretty good work here against the Skin Wolves, but Chimera is here as well. Luckily, we do have some Blood Beasts too. Skull Taker is also here, potentially going to be able to turn this fight in the Khorne's favor. The Marauder Berserkers slowly being taken down by the Forsaken, but the Forsaken, even though they have armor, they only have 15 melee defense, so it makes sense if the Berserkers end up potentially winning that, though we'll see how the leadership holds. Skin Wolves get absolutely destroyed there by the Fleshhounds in their rear charge, plus the Chaos Knights as well. Chaos Knights are going to turn to help out in the infantry fight here. Points looking to be still in favor of Khorne, but Norska now having point 2 in their hands. We've got some Marauder Bearmen on point as well. Can start racking up points, but Skull Taker is doing some pretty good work here. Skull Taker could also do some good work against Grey Shaman, but actually they're on horse, so they will run away as soon as possible. Chimera's looking for a proper engagement. The Minos are here. On the off chance that they do land, we do have some Marauders dual weapons summoned in. For the Norskin side, we do have some Berserkers summoned in as well. Point 2 has a lot of infantry here from the Norskin side, though we do have some Fleshhounds and Marauders as well. We'll see if Khorne decides to try to attempt to take it. Chimera is going to jump in there and terror out those Marauders, which is pretty good. That's also another utility from the Chimera. Not only are they a very good fighter, but they've just been running around, flying down, terrorizing things with nothing from Khorne able to stop it. We do have some Minos with great weapons going to be able to jump in on the Chimera, but luckily thanks to its immune to flanking, it's not going to take as much damage, but it will take damage if it's stuck in there for a good while, as you can see. Skin Wolves are going to surround those Minos. The Minos don't have the greatest armor, only 70, but Skin Wolves don't have that great of AP either, and neither are they in peak condition. We do have some more Marauder as well helping out. This engagement here could determine what happens with point 1. We will see. The Chimera might just get finished off there. We have some Khorne Gores being summoned in as well in the back pocket. Very nice. The other Chimera is beginning to join the fight. Some Minos potentially going to come join in as well, and Fleshhounds. The Bearmen get caught up in a fight with the Hounds of the Blood Hunt. These two Marauders could join in on the fight as well, but the Fleshhounds are going to disperse. We do have a final transmutation going down there, hitting the Blood Beasts and the Minos. Horn of Khorne popped, giving them that bonus to melee attack up to 67. They are going to charge into the Marauders there, and to be fair, the Marauders aren't going to do much damage there, so it's perfectly fine. The Chimera is full HP. The other one is routed off to 118 HP. The Fleshhounds are going to get dispersed here. And some Skin Wolves did come back, so they're going to be able to regenerate, but they only have 5 models left. These Khorne Gores should probably turn around as they're going off somewhere else. I'm not entirely sure what their plan is. Norska seems to be making a advancement on point 3, but decides to turn around and change their mind. Points looking to be pretty close, 570 to 592. Khorne just barely inching with the lead, but they could take point 1 with these Marauders with great weapons, dual weapons, and Minos. And it makes sense because Norska doesn't really have much of infantry at the moment, just some Berserkers and Marauder Bearmen, which could rout here soon with Skull Taker on top of them. These great weapons could also jump in there on the Chimera, and that could be a very good decision there for Khorne. Though that means, in the meanwhile, Norska is able to continue holding on to point 1, and that Chimera is in pretty good HP, however, so it's not like it'll be fast either. Some more Berserkers summoned in, and some pretty good choices there from the Norskin side. At this point, I think Khorne might want to start pushing for point 2, as they only have some Marauders there. Could send these Marauders into point 2 with some backups from the Fleshhounds, though I understand they want to focus right now on point 1. Their eyes are completely focused on that at the moment. It does seem like Khorne is maybe potentially making their way over. We'll see. The Sorcerer is hanging back with the Marauders. They're making a push to point 1 as they see the dual weapons from Khorne are on the point. Great weapons have found a home here with the Chimera, fully surrounding it, even though it's immediate flanking. They are great weapons at the end of the day, and Skull Taker is here as well, who is a very, very good combatant, even on that motorbike. Some Skin Wolves summoned in, potentially trying to shut down the Hounds of the Blood Hunt or even disrupt the Minos. Though, we do see the dual weapons from Khorne being shut down, can be routed off, and Norska's able to hold on to point 1. Now they are leading the points here against Khorne. Looking pretty scared here, though. We do finally see that Khorne advancement on point 2. Might be able to make up that lead. A final transportation going down. It's just going to be a single undercast on Skull Taker, not doing too much damage, barely tagging the Flesh Hounds as well. The other Chimera does route away, which is fantastic. Hopefully it doesn't come back, but there is a big potential that it does. Marauder Berserkers holding on to the point here. We are going to need some infantry here from Khorne, and that's exactly what we're bringing out. We're bringing up some Chaos Warriors of Khorne, and especially now that there's no Marauder Bearmen with great weapons, this could be a great choice. These Khorne Gorers will also be making it to the point soon as well. These great weapons should be dispatched soon, though we'll see. Hopefully the Chaos Warriors of great weapons aren't tied up by them for too long. Point 2, the Khorne tried to make a play for it, but Skin Wolves did make their way over, same with the Marauder Berserkers. So, Skull Taker, seeing this, is going to jump in on the fight, potentially turn things around. The issue is that Marauder Berserkers, as we know, with the Marauder Bearmen, they do have that ITP. Actually, these are Marauder Berserkers, excuse me. I thought they were Marauder Bearmen. But yeah, they do have that. Either way, they do have the ITP from Berserk, rather from Frenzy, excuse me. So once they lose that Frenzy, eventually things can turn around. But the Chimera is back. Does it have any more breath attacks? It does not, but it doesn't matter because it does have Terror at the end of the day. So it could pay massive dividends if it helps out with those Berserkers against the Forsaken. Forsaken are doing some pretty decent work into the Berserkers. But again, as I said, they only have 15 melee defense. So we do have some Blood Beasts being called out, which is a very good call there. They should do fantastic work against Berserkers and even the Skin Wolves as well, despite them not being anti-large and not having that great of armor. These Minos slowly dispatching their Spearmen, but they're also taking quite a bit of damage in return. Point 1 potentially going to Khorne here, which could turn things around here for Khorne. 1,015 to 814 right now, lead for Norskin's side. The Blood Beasts need to make their way completely onto the point here. Khorne is in need of some help. Their infantry is in absolutely need of some help. Point 1 is finally taken by Khorne. If things stay as they are, I think eventually Khorne will be able to take back the point lead, though it will take a while. Blood Beasts are going to decide to go after the Skin Wolves, who seem to be going after point 3. And that is a smart decision, though as you can see from that initial charge, Blood Beasts are taking quite a bit of damage, but also so are the Skin Wolves in return. Blood Beasts are no slouch in melee, even up against an anti-large fighter. Point 1 is in the hands of Khorne still. These Berserkers got absolutely eviscerated. I'm not sure why, by a Sword of Khorne, it seemed like. Absolutely destroying those Berserkers. Beautiful Sword of Khorne, as those Chaos Warriors are doing some pretty good work into them as well. That armor mitigating a lot of the Berserker damage, as opposed to the great weapons of the Marauder Bearmen. Marauder Bearmen do take a charge into the Forsaken, or trying to make their way to the point, but the Forsaken are trying to body block them away from the point. Now the Blood Beasts are going to make swift work of this engagement once they support, especially with Skull Taker, as we see those Marauder Bearmen just being torn apart, flung into the air in this Nurgle-infested swamp. Those Marauder Bearmen are not going to live to see the next day, and if they do, they're going to have a serious infection sitting in those swamps. We do have some more great weapons coming in. If anybody could do it, it's the Bearmen. Though we do have some more Skin Wolves as well. And it is going to be going to Khorne. Norska is going to bow out, as Khorne just seems to have the lead there in terms of bodies on the field. Very well played to Stelios. Extremely well played to Big B's as well. Such a solid final win to Stelios. Well played. Very good tournament. Thank you guys for everyone for playing. We'll just go over the semifinals replay and we'll call it there for today. But let's go over the values here. The Bearmen did fantastic early on, and I can definitely see why they're so good and why people want them banned on walk, because my god, are they so much better in Dom with that ITP and those heavy freaking great weapons. They do so much good work, even into like Chaos Warriors with great dual weapons. It's so good. But the Chimeras did fantastic as well. 1237 and 1350 on this one. Not so much in Dom as they would in land battle, but that's the beauty of the beast here in Dom. You get a lot more resources here to try to shut down a Chimera. 1189, 2059. But I mean, if y'all saw that breath attack just annihilate the Chaos Warriors with dual weapons, like, that was like 800 gold. Or not, it was more than that. It was like, I think Chaos Warriors with dual weapons are like 1100, if I'm not correct, if I'm somewhat close to correct. That was an insane breath, just wiping out that entire unit. 2059 on one of these Skin Wolves, beautiful. The Corset didn't get, the Corset didn't get summoned out, unfortunately. Skull Taker on his motorbike, just extremely frustrating to deal with, even in both game modes. Such a menace. Complete freaking menace. Just basically the mask on Corn's side, essentially. But even with even more mobility and even more mass. The dude on his freaking motorbike just has like infinite mass, it feels like at times. And then IT immune to flanking on top of it. Sheesh. The Minos did fantastic, shutting down those Chimeras and the Skin Wolves. Really, really good. I definitely would prefer to see some overcast at final transmutations, because the undercast just barely tickles any of those units at times. But really solid game there. Fantastic play from both players. Really solid build there. Really cool to see the Chaos Warriors with dual weapons. And then the Lances did fantastic too. 1263. Beautiful. They're 800. They're 900. Okay, I'm thinking of Skull Reapers. Yeah. Yeah, 900 is still pretty solid. Like with an initial breath from my Chimera getting like practically like 700 to 800 value there, which is like wiping out over like 70% of the unit HP is insane. Obviously, we're not accounting for models being lost, but just HP wise, considering there's no healing aside from the one specific Lord on Corn's side, like that's pretty insane. From just one of those breaths, considering they have 3 of them, it's crazy. Reapers would be pretty good here, I think, as well. I didn't see your message earlier. Depends. VC is Slanesh versus Slanesh is basically unwinnable for VC. VC versus Beastman is extremely VC flavored, I think. That makes sense. Yeah, that absolutely makes sense, because I assume Beastmen get tired out despite their numbers being able to match that of VC. I assume they get tired out from just a massive amount of bodies and from the Mortis engines. But thank you guys for playing. Let's go over the semifinals replay. Well played to them, to Stelios. And we'll just get this one replay out of the way and call it for today. I don't think there's any players around to do a free-for-all if people wanted to anyways. Like Turn does on the end of his... All right. So we have Stelios versus Martinius in this semi-final replay. Obviously, we saw who won, but these are 2 very strong players. I can imagine it'll be a very good match to watch anyways, to cast. Glad to see the Goblin Grey Shaman on the Spider. I presume it's going to be on the Spider. On the Spooter is just as good in Dom as it is in land battle. Very oppressive with those vindictive glares. Oh, it's actually not on Spooter. Wow. I guess it is corn. You can get throwing next in the face or dealt with by minos with corn. But for corn, we do have Skull Taker, as we saw before, basically the same setup on his motorbike. He's on the motorbike, right? Yeah, that's what I figured. Chaos, he's just littering the freaking sky with his foul pollution. We have Marauders of Corn. For the front line, we also have some Chaos Warriors with Corn with halberds, and then we have some Bloodwake Berserkers, very cool Wrathmonger ROR. They should do absolutely fantastic here against the Greenskins, though Greenskins do have some ways to deal with those bastards. Some Blood Beasts as well, and then we have double Throwing Axes vanguarded up. For the Greenskins, we have the Teeth Robbers, Goblin Wolf Chariot ROR. They have some solid missile damage with those bows of theirs. We have the Warlord's Boys, Night Goblin ROR. And then for we have some Orc Boys for the front line, as well as some Savage Orcs to do with any Marauders or potentially any some Marauders or I don't. Do you see? I'm gonna assume you do not see. What are they called again? I can't think of what they're called. But either way, we have Orc Boys. I imagine Savage Orcs are very good here anyways. Crimson Killers, Black Orcs ROR. We have the Regulars Armored Orcs, which are fantastic here as always. Orc Arrow Boys, and then Goblins. Yeah, right off the bat, we have Skull Taker jumping in there, doing some pretty good work into the Night Gobos who try to sneakily take point 2. Some Throwing Axes sitting nearby. It gets screened out by the Teeth Robbers and their AoE and their ranged advantage. 115 against the 70 of the Throwing Axes. Meta Greenskin Lord and Dom is the 1k Night Gobble Warboss with the Rampage. That makes sense. It was in Land Battle for a while as well. But yeah, we see point 1 being taken by the Greenskins, taking it back from Corn. We do see some Flesh Hounds going after the Teeth Robbers, so they should be able to be screened out by the Warlord Boys, which Corn doesn't see at the moment because they are stocked. Now they finally see them, and they'll be screened out by the Warlord Boys, which is very good. But Corn does see that in time and does send them back. Bloodwake Berserkers are going to absolutely mince through the Orc Boys, and got to be careful there. So Greenskin player is going to back them off. Orc Boys are going to be having to deal with Skull Taker here as he just runs his motorbike through them. Oh my god, these Snotling Punt Wagons run through the Marauders and Bloodwake Berserkers. They're going to turn around and shoo out of there because, oh my god, they're taking so much damage from the Bloodwake Berserkers. Jesus, down to close to half their HP. Cord takes the point 3 with their halberds. Also some Blood Beasts sitting in the forest nearby, potentially waiting for any rear charges if possible. Crimson Killers, I imagine, don't want to fight with the Blood Berserkers as they'll potentially lose that, but they could probably do some good damage in, as they do have that bonus versus infantry of 8. Especially with the support of the Throwing Axes though. But yeah, Skull Taker is just doing what Skull Taker does and just causing a absolute havoc in the back line, or just disrupting the infantry formations. Goblin Great Shaman sitting nearby. What is he up to at the moment? With Curse of the Bad Moon? Really? What the hell? Is that actually like a viable spell here, or is Martinius just experimenting? Because I'm about to see it here, and I imagine it's not going to do much damage. But it does cause the debuff at the very least, which is the nasty curse. It's not very, it's okay, but it only, but like I don't want to spend that much whelm for that debuff. The Warlord Boys get screened out here. We do have the main Marauders, which got summoned in. Teeth Robbers trying to help screen out those Flesh Hounds. Blood Beasts and Marauders are able to dispatch those Orc Boys right quickly. Point 1 is still in the hands of the Greenskins. The Warlord Boys should be able to hold back some of those guys for a little while. They do have ITP as well. Orc Boys sitting idly by. Gobble Great Shaman sitting idly by as well. Crimson Killers fighting it out here with the Skull Reapers, which did get summoned in, as well as the Bloodwake Berserkers. So with 2v1 from those guys, those Crimson Killers are going to have a bit of a tough time, especially with Skull Taker there. My god, they're going to absolutely eviscerate them. I do not see Skull Reapers often, so god is it cool to see them. Point 2 still in the hands of Corn and is going back to full control by them. Slightly Pump Wagon doing the best that they can, running through some Marauders. Thorenax is doing some good work into them as well. Some Squigs routing off. We do see the Morgrub's Magi Marauders. Say that 3 times fast. We have some Squig herded in the backline, which need to come here and support. As in terms of gold damage value, Martinez is doing pretty good here, but points-wise, Khorne is taking the lead. Those Crimson Killers have been dispatched thanks to the Skull Reapers and the Bloodwraith Berserkers. Same with these Night Goblins, which should be gone here soon. Goblin Great Shaman casting something there on the Savage Orcs, giving them sneaky stabbing, plus 24 melee attack and some AP up against those Marauders. The Rugged Armored Orcs and Orc Arrow Boys getting a nice volley of fire into the Blood Beasts, helping out with that fight. Another cast there from the Moon, doing the debuff on the Blood Beasts as well. Not very much damage though. They need to turn around, however, and probably start shooting into the Skull Reapers or into Skull Taker as the Blood Beasts are gone. Though I understand they want to shoot into the Khorne Gorse or the Chaos Warriors. They do have double Savage Orc here, so now Rugged Armor Orcs are going to be intercepted. However, are going to be sent in, disrupted by Skull Taker. So not going to be looking too great there. Sword of Khorne coming down there. Might be a little bit mistimed, or rather, Greatskins does get out of the way. Does still pretty decent damage against the Warlord Boys, however, so very nice. Some Minos with great weapons in the fight there as well. Blood Beasts are going to be routing off here soon. We do have some Fleshhounds summoned out. Going to be able to capture point 1. Greenskins are really on the back foot, and at this point, I don't think Greenskins really have any potential to take this back at this point, because just the massive amount of bodies from Khorne. We do have some with the Broken Tusk mobs and some trolls, but they're all forced into the back spawn. They have nothing on the points here. 800 to 100 is a very bad lead, a very tough lead to catch up from, and Greenskins see that, so they are going to toss it into Khorne. And well played to both players. Stelios doing it really, really well on Khorne. I don't know if they're specifically a very good Khorne player, but they did put a really good showing in today. Note the meme here as well. Okay, I figured. The Rampage and Tormentor Sword, yeah. Okay, yeah, it was in Land Battle as well, for a while as well. But another thing we occasionally see is the Goblin Grey Shaman on the Spider with the Anti-Large and the Vindictive Glares being spammed out. But we also occasionally see, very, very occasionally see, I was gonna say Azag, but we haven't seen Azag in a long while. Let me see who we... It's mostly... I remember. Occasionally it's Warzag. Mostly it's Warboss and Grom, as well as Great Shaman. Everybody else doesn't really get any time of the day. 1171 for Mr. Skull Taker. Blood Beast, nothing really too shabby there to note. Very oppressive infantry push there from Khorne. Skull Reapers did fine, 659. Everything else did all right as well. Yeah, the Great Shaman there with the Cursed Moon was not anything to write home about. It was very meme. Definitely don't see the Teeth Robbers ever as well. Interesting choice. Would have just preferred to bring the Morgrub's Magi Marauders in the front, in the base army, as well as some more Goblin Archers, as well as some more skirmishing units, rather than those chariots. Yeah, nothing else value-wise here. I could obviously see some Night Goblins with Fanatics being great here as well against the Khorne Infantry, because typically you'll see a lot of it. So But obviously, Skull Taker can route them very quickly. I don't really play green skins, but I would say the two Meta Lords are the War Boss and Grom. War Boss? Really? Oh, you mean the Goblin War Boss. I was about to say the Orc War Boss. I was like, what the heck are you talking about? But yeah, that makes sense. Grom is very good in Dom. I can imagine with the regeneration and just like the massive mobility. Yeah, and then the very good banner he has. And Language of the Boys. Yeah, Orc War Boss is very bad. Never ever see Work Boss because it's just hilariously bad. Yeah. But yeah, thanks for playing in the tournament, Rogue. Thanks to everybody in general, anybody who hung out and watched the stream, and for everybody who decided to play. Well played to everyone. I can't wait to host my next one. I'll catch you guys later. Have a good rest of your Sunday, and have a good week. And thanks for hanging out. See you, Rogue. See everybody else. Have a good night, good day. Adios. Bye-bye.